Fantastic question. I love it. Very nice. You're hearing carefully. That's nice. So yes, the habit of winning every day. So failing in a startup is actually not failing unless you give up. The moment you say, okay, that's it, my startup just died, that's the day you failed. But let's say you launched a product, nobody bought it, or less than expected number of sales. That's not a failure. That's a validation that, okay, whatever worked, you got some sales. Something is there. Maybe 90% of it is wrong. So you go back to the drawing board, you build, you test, you learn from the market, you go back, and that's the lean startup methodology. That's not failure. That's a milestone. The failure happens when you stop winning. Right? So the fact that you'll go through hurdles, that's expected. But you've got to keep going, because when you see even 5% success rate, if you watch some of my videos, you'll see that it's about tenacity. You see that 5% for an entrepreneur, that's good enough. 95%, actually startups is 98% failure rate, right? That's why lean startup methodology was brought out, because it is the science of startup. It helps you become as successful as you can be, given the variables that are provided. So that's not failure. That's just stepping stones to success. But the moment you give up, so don't give up. For example, Groupon. Anybody heard of Groupon? It twisted, turned, 1.5 years, they were failing massively. And then 1.5 years later, it turned into advertising, and Groupon instantly became a hit. Google wanted to buy them for $6 billion. They said no to Google and moved on. Went into IPO, and they're doing extremely well all over the world, right? So 1.5 years, most entrepreneurs would have quit. When I started at my university, I looked to my right, I looked to my left, and I saw brilliant guys starting businesses. I was like, my God, I have no hope, because they're going to take all the resources. What will I do? But you know what happened? Once the co-founder left or somebody got a job, they just quit. It's like, oh, that's how it works. You don't have to be smart. You just have to keep going and keep the tenacity up. So that's actually success. Answers your question? You make a mistake. This is not working. So I learned something from that. And you take that learning and you build. It's a build, test, learn cycle. Learning is the most important part. Because you're not just going, it's insanity to keep doing and expecting different results. So what I'm saying is, yes, in India also, that is how, anywhere, it's not just India, it is a science. This is how it works. This is how NASA works. This is how the government works. The competition is actually good. So if Make My Trip is there, it's okay for Clear Trip or Ease My Trip to exist, because they might provide something else. They might provide a competition, and you know what? If the competition is good enough, they might get bought out by Make My Trip. Right? So you have that opportunity also. That's why a lot of companies, people, when they build it to compete with Google or compete with Facebook, so Facebook buys them out, Instagram or WhatsApp. Right? What is Facebook not doing? Let me do that. Or let me take one thing that they're not doing right, and we'll do it right, and we'll get bought out for that. Because that's what startups are about. Investor wants money back. 10 times, 100 times more. Right? And if the investor sees that, okay, if you're going in this track in 18 months, highly likely you're going to get bought out. And I have connections with the companies who can buy you out. I'm going to invest. Right?